Hello everyone. Welcome to my Y&R 24 spoilers. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Sharon shouts down Matt, Sally burned, Sienna fools around. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Wednesday, November 12th reveal that Nick Newman fills in Sienna Bacall about Matt Clark aka her husband Mitch Bacall, while Billy Abbott does what he does best and betrays Sally Spectra. LA madness won't stop. First off, let's start with Nick going scorched earth after seeing Sienna and Noah Newman kiss at the hospital. What in the fresh heck is this? The confused dad wants to know. Unfortunately, Noah and Sienna don't want to talk about whatever it is they're doing and have been doing. He switches gears and tells Sienna everything about her skeevy husband when he doesn't get anywhere with them. Sienna already knows Mitch is bad news, but Nick knows something else that will make her scream. Sienna is told all about Matt Clark. Nick reiterates to Sienna that Mitch is Matt Clark. He explains to her everything he has done to Nick and Sharon Newman to achieve this goal. Poor Noah can't believe that he was groomed by someone he knows as Mitch, but is actually a dreaded figure from his parents' past. Mitch Bacall is Matt Clark. Meanwhile, over at the Shadow Room, Sharon confronts Matt, who turns into a raging volcano. She insists that Matt caused Noah's crash, but he warns her to back off, which causes her to issue her own caution. Sharon remains fierce even as Matt yells and menaces her. What could go wrong? Billy is a cad through and through. In the meantime, Billy betrays Sally in Genoa City, and we can't say that we didn't anticipate this. He promised her that he would focus on Abbott communications going forward, but that is a vow he cannot keep. Instead, his vendetta against Adam Newman and Victor Newman grows larger. What happens next in Genoa City? Sally thought she had finally gotten through to Billy, but is he even capable of letting go of his Newman animosity? It sure doesn't look like it. Red Hot the Young and the Restless spoilers hint that Sally receives bad news about Billy and his latest Newman scheme. If he remains fixated on going after can Sally ignore this if it means that their own company is at risk? We see a storm brewing, and you don't want to miss a single minute of the sizzling action. Y&R fans. Matt and Sienna go to Genoa City. Who will be the next victim? The Young and the Restless spoilers indicate that according to Y&R's head writer, Josh Griffith has offered fans a preview of part 2 of the Matt and Sienna story. Matt Clark aka Mitch Bacall will follow Noah Newman back to Genoa City. At least in the city, they will feel better on home turf. The Bacalls have arrived in Genoa City. Nick and Sharon are not afraid to take on Matt once again. However, no one knows how Matt survived. They will be shaken by Matt's gifts because they are trying to protect everyone close to them. This includes Noah and the rest of the Newman family. This battle comes down to a confrontation between Matt and Nick. Things won't go exactly how Nick and Sharon plan because Matt will not stay in Los Angeles at all. Matt will follow to Genoa City for some more drama. More victims and more secrets will result from this. They are hoping that everything in the denouement of the Los Angeles part of the story will have so scared him off that he'd be foolish to come after them. But even Victor Newman's security team is not that good. Matt and all of his drama will follow right back to Genoa City, where it all begun years ago. This, supposedly, turns into a nightmare for all of It sounds like Matt's revenge could rival Jordan Howard's revenge plot against Could Matt possibly be that bad, or even worse? How far will Matt Clark go? Victor sees himself as the protector of his family, and he will certainly be there to try and help control Matt. How far is Matt willing to go to make them miserable? Could Matt decide to go after another one of the Newman women to make them suffer, like he did Sharon years ago? Matt is known as a rapist, and it is likely that he could rape someone else, especially now that it is obvious that Sienna betrayed him with Noah. Who will be Matt's next victim? What will be the final straw before Matt backs off or someone takes him out? Could Matt try to enlist Holden Novak's help now that he's back in town? Holden's connection to Claire Newman could certainly come in here. Will Matt's conflict with the result in Claire becoming a victim? Matt is obviously messing with the wrong family and he will end up going down at some point. How many more people will get hurt before Matt is finally taken care of? Matt and Sharon's confrontation is hinted at by Sharon Case, the young and the restless character Sharon Newman, played by Sharon Case, is going to get to lay into Matt Clark even more on Thursday's episode. The Daytime Emmy winner is thrilled that Y&R has reintroduced another villain from Sharon's past and relishes the idea of standing up to her character's rapist. The young and the restless welcome Matt. Eddie, Rick Hurst, and Roger Howarth have all played Matt on The Young and the Restless. Nobody's ever really dead, Case told Soap Opera Digest of Matt Clark's resurrection. She cites Sheila Carter and Diane from Y&R as two examples of this. Both were presumed dead, only to rise from the ashes. Case believes that Matt gets worse each time he comes back. After Eddie left the show, the character was played later by Rick Hurst. And now have Roger in the role, and he's amazing, Case raves. Case had to project abject horror upon seeing a back-from-the-dead Matt outside the shadow room. It rattled the characters to their cores, given Matt's history and the fact that he was presumed dead. Sharon's well aware of Matt's lying ways, so Mitch claiming not to be Matt only infuriates her. With all her might, Sharon believes that Mitch is indeed Matt. He's been lying, and he is going to cause trouble for Sharon's family. She sees dead people. Sharon saw Cameron when he wasn't alive on The Young and the Restless image, JPI. Given that Sharon imagined Cameron had come back to haunt her, it's only logical that Sharon suspects on some level that Matt could be a figment of her imagination, too. However, Sharon is driven to sift through the truth and protect her family. Just as Faith's life was in danger from Cameron, so, too, is Noah's from Matt Clark. Sharon can't help but wonder if Matt was behind Noah's car accident. It's frustrating for Sharon because Matt won't admit that he's Matt and that he came after her son. Complicating the matter is the revelation that Noah has shared at least one intimate moment with Sienna, Matt's wife. Sharon might be wondering if Matt hadn't gone after Noah because of who his parents are, but rather because Noah and Sienna have been intimate on some level with one another. Watch for Sharon to go all out as she applies pressure on Matt to come clean about his identity and his plans to harm Nick and Sharon. 1. The firestorm in Los Angeles. Sienna's double life and Nick's discovery on the latest Young and the Restless drama begins with Nick Newman at the center of a storm he never anticipated. Upon seeing his son Noah kissing Sienna Bacall, the wife of Matt Clark, known to her as Mitch Bacall, Nick is both bewildered and furious. The hospital setting heightens the emotional tension, symbolizing both injury and revelation. Noah and Sienna's refusal to clarify their relationship leaves Nick spinning, forcing him to take matters into his own hands. His protective instincts kick in, but beneath that paternal anger lies a deep wound from the past, Matt Clark's betrayal and abuse of Sharon Newman. When Nick decides to fill Sienna in on the truth, the tone shifts from confrontation to reckoning. Nick's revelations reveal Mitch Bacall to be none other than Matt Clark, a man presumed dead and one of Genoa City's most despised villains. Sienna's relationship with Mitch has already been unstable. The irony is searing. Sienna, who thought she had escaped her past demons, discovers that she has been married to one. Nick's retelling of Matt's despicable crimes, his manipulation, violence, and his history with Sharon render Sienna both horrified and humiliated. It's not just betrayal on a romantic level. It's a violation of identity. She has been living with a man whose true self is a monster. Noah's world also collapses in this moment. To learn that his mentor and lover's husband is his parents' old nemesis creates a generational echo of trauma. The Newmans feel as though history is repeating itself in the most cruel way possible. The sins of the past are now haunting the next generation. 2. Sharon versus Matt. A battle of strength and shadows. Sharon Newman's confrontation with Matt at the Shadow Room, a symbolic location whose name perfectly encapsulates the theme of a place where light and darkness blur, serves as the episode's emotional core. Sharon approaches Matt not as a victim, but as a survivor seeking justice. Her determination is unyielding, She has endured his cruelty before and refuses to be intimidated again. When she accuses him of orchestrating Noah's car crash, Matt's mask slips, revealing his unbridled rage. His threats and his attempts to silence her only confirm what she already knows. The predator never truly changes. Matt's psychological warfare versus Sharon's unwavering defiance becomes a battle of wills in their exchange. It is evident that the writers intended for this moment to serve as both a moment of closure and continuity for fans who have been following the story for a long time. Sharon's fiery outburst represents the voice of every survivor reclaiming power from their abuser. The physical danger is palpable, but Sharon's emotional control robs Matt of his dominance. The performance by Sharon Case elevates this confrontation beyond soap melodrama. It's a chilling but empowering exploration of trauma recovery. Sharon's fury and composure show that she is no longer the fragile victim Matt once preyed upon. When she shouts him down, the moment resonates deeply, symbolizing years of buried pain finally unleashed. 3. Billy Abbott's betrayal. Sally Spectra burned again. Meanwhile, in Genoa City, another fire burns, this one between Sally Spectra and Billy Abbott. Sally, ever the ambitious dreamer, believed that Billy's promises of partnership and focus on Abbott communications meant a clean slate. But in true Billy fashion, he cannot resist his darker impulses. His obsession with revenge against Adam and Victor Newman outweighs any commitment he made to Sally or their business. Despite being just as destructive as the confrontation between Sharon and Matt, this betrayal is not as explosive. It's a quieter tragedy, a slow betrayal rather than a violent one. Sally's heartbreak is layered. She's not only losing trust in Billy, but also witnessing the unraveling of her professional dreams. The tension between them underscores a recurring theme in Y&R. Ambition and emotion rarely coexist peacefully. Sally wanted to build something legitimate, but Billy's vendetta has doomed their enterprise. The emotional complexity of Billy's character remains one of Y&R's most consistent through lines. His compulsive need to win against the Newmans mirrors his father's reckless streak, while Sally's disappointment evokes the same pity once reserved for those who believed Billy could change. In essence, Sally's burn isn't just betrayal, it's a revelation of who Billy truly is, a man addicted to chaos. 4. The return to Genoa City. Matt's shadow follows. The second half of this saga shifts from Los Angeles back to the familiar territory of Genoa City. Nick and Sharon, thinking that confronting Matt in LA might end things, are wrong. Matt, fueled by revenge and humiliation, refuses to disappear. He follows them home, back to the city where his crimes began. This movement from LA to Genoa City feels metaphorically loaded. Evil can be exiled, but it cannot be eradicated unless confronted head-on. The show's head writer, Josh Griffith, has laid the groundwork for an escalating war between Matt and the Newmans. His survival itself raises narrative questions. How did he cheat death again? And why now? His pursuit of Noah and Sienna intertwines revenge with twisted jealousy. The fact that Sienna betrayed him with Noah amplifies his desire to destroy the Newman family, not only for vengeance, but also to reassert control. The storyline promises carnage and psychological warfare. The Newmans' unity will be tested as Matt strikes at their weakest points. Victor, ever the patriarch and self-proclaimed protector, will not stand idly by, but even he may find himself outmatched by Matt's unpredictable cunning. The writers tease that Matt's revenge could rival even Jordan Howard's infamous vendetta. If that's true, viewers can expect a body count and emotional fallout that reshapes the Newman legacy. 5. The psychology of Matt Clark, villainy evolved. Matt Clark is one of the young and the restless most enduring villains because he represents the embodiment of cruelty cloaked in charisma. Each actor, Eddie Cibrian, Rick Hurst, and now Roger Howarth, has brought a different shade to Matt's sociopathy. But with Howarth's portrayal, the menace feels disturbingly real. His version of Matt is older, more calculated, and more dangerous. In his earlier incarnations, Matt was impulsive, a spoiled rich kid turned violent manipulator. But in his resurrection as Mitch Bacall, he's evolved into something darker, a man who hides behind a new identity, weaponizing charm to infiltrate lives. His marriage to Sienna isn't love, it's control. His connection to Noah isn't mentorship, it's manipulation. Matt thrives on psychological domination, and that's what makes his return terrifying. Sharon's awareness of this pattern is cleverly utilized by the writers to intensify the tension. Even when others question her, she is able to identify the monster behind the mask. Sharon's conviction that Mitch is really Matt parallels the gaslighting tactics that survivors often face. Her clarity and refusal to be dismissed ground the narrative in realism amidst the melodrama. 6. Sharon Case's performance and the legacy of survival. Sharon Case's portrayal of Sharon Newman remains one of the most emotionally complex in soap opera history. Her recent interviews reflect both gratitude and gravity about revisiting Matt Clark's storyline. When she says that Matt gets worse every time he comes back, it's not just commentary on the writing, it's acknowledgement of the cyclical nature of abuse and trauma in storytelling. The scene where Sharon confronts a back from the dead, Matt outside the shadow room taps into the psychological horror of seeing one's abuser alive after years of supposed peace. It mirrors real-world trauma responses, the disbelief, the disorientation, and the fury. Case's performance turns what could have been campy resurrection drama into something raw and harrowing. The writers also make a clever connection between this storyline and Sharon's previous hallucinations of Cameron Kirsten. Her history of seeing ghosts raises the question, is Matt's return literal or psychological? The ambiguity enhances the narrative. Sharon's mind has been a battleground for years, and the idea that she must again question her reality adds depth to her struggle. Whether Matt is corporeal or a manifestation of her fear, Sharon's mission remains the same, to protect her family at all costs. 7. Sienna's crisis, from victim to wildcard. Sienna Bacall, introduced as Matt's unsuspecting wife, becomes the most unpredictable variable in this saga. Her affair with Noah is reckless but deeply human, a woman starved for truth and intimacy, reaching for something real. However, this act of rebellion may cost her dearly. Once Matt discovers the betrayal, his rage will likely turn lethal. Sienna's storyline serves as a mirror to Sharon's past. Where Sharon was once trapped by Matt's deceit and violence, Sienna now faces the same crossroads. Will she succumb to fear or rise as another survivor? Her connection to Noah complicates the narrative emotionally, potentially drawing the younger Newman into a deadly web. Her moral ambiguity, fooling around with Noah while still married to Mitch, makes her both sympathetic and culpable. Yet it's this complexity that makes her compelling. Sienna represents the collateral damage of Matt's manipulation. She's both victim and catalyst, sparking the next chapter of the Newman-Matt War. 8. The looming war in Genoa City. As the story barrels toward Genoa City, the atmosphere shifts from psychological to physical confrontation. The Newmans prepare for battle, but even with Victor's formidable resources, Matt remains a step ahead. His motives extend beyond revenge. He wants to destroy their sense of safety, their faith in justice, and their ability to protect one another. The parallels to previous YNR revenge arcs, like Jordan Howard's, suggest a long, drawn-out conflict filled with twists, betrayals, and moral reckoning. Every Newman will face their limits. Nick's guilt, Sharon's trauma, Noah's naivety, and Victor's pride. The question isn't just whether they can defeat Matt, but whether they can survive without destroying themselves in the process. 9. Legacy and thematic depth. The cycle of violence and redemption. At its core, Sharon shouts down Matt, Sally burned, Sienna fools around, is not just about scandal, it's about cycles of pain and the possibility of breaking them. Sharon's defiance, Sally's heartbreak, and Sienna's awakening all point toward one truth. Survival isn't clean or easy. Each woman is confronting a man whose weakness masquerades as power. Matt's violence, Billy's obsession, Nick's control. The Young and the Restless thrives when it explores these psychological nuances beneath its glamorous surface. By resurrecting Matt Clark, the writers aren't just reviving a villain. They're forcing the Newmans to confront generational trauma, deceit, and the blurred line between vengeance and justice. 10. Conclusion. A storm that redefines Genoa City. As the drama unfolds, one thing becomes clear. This isn't just another soap opera twist. Sharon's showdown with Matt is a reckoning years in the making. Sienna's betrayal and Billy's downfall are smaller flames feeding a larger inferno. The emotional and moral fallout promises to reshape Genoa City's landscape, testing loyalties, faith, and redemption arcs. When Sharon screams down Matt, it's more than defiance, it's declaration. The hunted has become the hunter. And as the Newmans brace for another onslaught, one can't help but wonder, how many ghosts must they face before they find peace? In true Young and the Restless fashion, peace may never come, but the fight for it will keep viewers riveted every step of the way.